Taha Sameru's story begins in the rural region of Arsi, Oromia, Ethiopia. Life was simple. He lived in a small village surrounded by his large, loving family. Days were spent tending to their farm, playing with his siblings and learning about their Oromo culture. Taha remembers the vibrant traditions, the colorful clothing, and the rhythmic sounds of Oromo music. He remembers the warmth of the community and the strong bonds that connected everyone. Life wasn't always easy, but there was joy in their simplicity, a sense of belonging in their shared heritage. These early years instilled in Taha a deep sense of resilience and a profound appreciation for his roots. Taha loved learning. He attended the local schoolhouse, his teachers saw his potential, they encouraged him to pursue his education. He dreamed of a brighter future, one where he could use his knowledge to help his community. But as Taha grew older, a shadow started to creep over his peaceful existence. The Ethiopian government, dominated by a different ethnic group, viewed the Oromo people with suspicion. They saw their cultural pride as a threat to their power. The government began to impose restrictions on the Oromo people. They banned the use of their language in schools and public spaces. They cracked down on any form of dissent. Peaceful protests were met with brutal force. Fear and intimidation became a part of daily life. Taha witnessed firsthand the horrors of this oppression. People he knew, friends and neighbors disappeared. Their only crime was their ethnicity. Taha's own family was targeted. His older brother, a vocal advocate for Oromo rights, was arrested. He was imprisoned without trial, subjected to torture, and never seen again. Taha's family was devastated. They lived in a constant state of fear. The joyful memories of his childhood were replaced by the chilling reality of persecution. Taha realized that staying in Ethiopia meant risking his life and abandoning his dreams. The decision to flee was not made lightly. Leaving his family behind was the hardest thing Taha ever had to do, but he knew it was the only way to survive. With the help of his remaining family, Taha planned his escape. They gathered what little money they had and arranged for him to be smuggled out of the country. The journey was perilous. Taha traveled for days, mostly on foot, hiding from authorities and relying on the kindness of strangers. He faced hunger, exhaustion, and the constant fear of being caught. Finally, after weeks of hardship, Taha crossed the border into Kenya. He arrived at the Dadaab refugee camp, exhausted and emotionally drained. The camp was overcrowded, resources were scarce, but for Taha, it was a sanctuary. He was finally safe from the persecution he faced in Ethiopia. Life in the refugee camp was difficult. The conditions were harsh. The future was uncertain. But Taha refused to give up hope. He volunteered at the camp's school. He taught English and math to younger children, sharing his love of learning despite the limited resources. He clung to the belief that education was the key to a better future. He enrolled in every program he could at the camp, learning new skills and expanding his horizons. During his time in Dadaab, Taha met aid workers from the United Nations. They were processing applications for resettlement in other countries. The United States, with its promise of freedom and opportunity, became his beacon of hope. He applied for resettlement. The process was long and arduous. It involved countless interviews, background checks, and medical examinations. Taha waited patiently, clinging to the hope of a new beginning. After 2 years in the refugee camp, Taha received the news he'd been waiting for. His application for resettlement in the United States had been approved. He was overjoyed. Finally, he could start building a new life, a life free from fear and persecution. Leaving the refugee camp was bittersweet. While he was eager to embrace the opportunities that awaited him in America, he was also leaving behind the friends he had made and the small sense of community he had built in Dadaab. The journey to the United States was long and tiring. Taha landed in a country completely foreign to him. He spoke little English. He had only a few belongings and a heart full of hope. He was assigned a resettlement agency that helped him with the basics, finding housing, enrolling in English classes, and navigating his new surroundings. America was a whirlwind of new experiences. The towering buildings, the bustling streets, the sheer diversity of people and cultures were overwhelming at first, but Taha was determined to adapt, to learn, and to thrive in his new home. Learning English was Taha's first priority. He attended language classes diligently. He practiced speaking with anyone who would listen. He immersed himself in American culture, watching movies, listening to music, and trying to understand the nuances of this new language. Every conversation, every interaction was a learning opportunity. He found work as a dishwasher in a local restaurant. The work was hard, the hours were long, but Taha was grateful for the opportunity to earn a living. He sent money back to his family in Ethiopia whenever he could. Despite the challenges, Taha never lost sight of his goals. He enrolled in community college, taking English as a second language, ESL, classes while working nights at the restaurant. He excelled in his studies. He discovered a passion for science, particularly biology. He dreamed of becoming a doctor, of using his knowledge to help others, just as he had dreamed back in his small village in Ethiopia. Taha's hard work and dedication paid off. After completing his ESL program, he was accepted into a 4-year university. He was awarded a scholarship that covered his tuition and living expenses. He majored in biology, excelling in his classes and impressing his professors with his thirst for knowledge. He volunteered at the local hospital, he shadowed doctors, he soaked up every bit of information he could about his chosen field. During his time at university, Taha met other students who were also immigrants. He discovered a community of people who understood his journey, who shared his values of hard work and perseverance. They supported each other, shared their stories, and celebrated their successes together. America was starting to feel more and more like home. Section 8. Becoming American, Citizenship and Belonging. After graduating with honors from university, Taha applied to medical school. He was accepted into a prestigious program, a testament to his hard work and dedication. He was one step closer to achieving his dream of becoming a doctor. Throughout this journey, Taha never forgot the importance of his U.S. citizenship. He studied American history and government. He learned about the rights and responsibilities that came with being a citizen of this country. The day he took the oath of allegiance, surrounded by other new citizens from all over the world, was one of the proudest moments of Taha's life. He had finally found a place where he truly belonged, a country that embraced him and provided him with the opportunities he had always dreamed of. He was no longer just a refugee who had fled persecution. He was an American citizen, with all the rights and responsibilities that came with it. Section 9. A World of Difference. Contrasting Freedoms. Living in the United States, Taha couldn't help but contrast it with the life he left behind in Ethiopia. The freedom he experienced in America, the freedom of speech, the freedom of religion, the freedom to pursue his dreams without fear of persecution, was something he never took for granted. He remembered the oppression he faced in Ethiopia, the fear that was ingrained in every aspect of life. In America, he could speak his mind freely. He could practice his religion openly. He could pursue his education without restrictions. The quality of life in America was also a stark contrast to what he knew in Ethiopia. Access to healthcare, education, and basic necessities was a given in America. In Ethiopia, these were privileges often denied to many, especially those belonging to marginalized communities like the Oromo people. The opportunities for personal and professional growth were abundant in America. Taha was grateful for the chance to create a better life for himself and to contribute to his new home. Section 10. Gratitude and Growth. The Impact of the Journey. Taha's journey from Ethiopia to the United States was long and arduous. It was filled with challenges and uncertainties, but it was also a journey of resilience, determination, and the unwavering pursuit of a better life. His experiences shaped him, instilled in him a deep sense of gratitude and a profound appreciation for the freedoms he now enjoyed. He learned the true meaning of perseverance, the importance of hope, and the transformative power of education. His journey also gave him a unique perspective on life, a deep understanding of the struggles faced by refugees and immigrants. He used his voice to advocate for their rights, to share his story, and to inspire others. He became a mentor to newly arrived refugees, guiding them through the challenges of settling into a new country. Section 11. Looking Forward, a Future Filled with Hope. As Taha looked back on his life, he felt a profound sense of gratitude. He was grateful for the opportunities he had been given in America. He was grateful for the kindness of strangers who had helped him along the way. He was most grateful for the chance to live a life free from fear, a life where he could pursue his dreams and make a difference in the world. Taha's story is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the power of hope, and the transformative nature of the American dream. It's a reminder that even in the face of adversity, with determination and perseverance, anything is possible.